Hello, it's Davey Mooney coming to you from the University of North Texas, where I run the jazz guitar program. Benedetto artist, Sunnyside Records artist. Got my 4 Sunnyside releases, and there's another one on the way. Got 2 books here, Personalizing Jazz Vocabulary and the brand new Into the Labyrinth, An Anatomy of Position Playing for Jazz Guitar, both from Mel Bay. And yep, we're in the semester here at UNT. I think this is the 4th week. It's mid-September 2022. We're doing it, y'all. We're hopefully post-pandemic, as far as we can tell. Shedding the music, including tunes such as the one I want to talk about today, which is the tune Peace from Horace Silver. And he recorded it in, I guess it's 59, on Blowin The Blues Away, Blue Mitchell, was it Junior Cook, Louis Hayes. Great record. Some classic tunes. I think Sister Sadie is on there too. A lot of great songs. And this tune I learned a long time ago, and with many, as with many of the tunes that I talk about in this series, I grew up in New Orleans, and I heard Steve Masakowski play this song on his solo gigs, trio gigs. He would do it a solo intro to it. His trio gigs at Snug Harbor back in the 90s that I used to attend. Man, I look back, somehow my parents, when I was in high school, they would let me go down to Frenchman Street on like a Tuesday night, 9 o'clock set. Anyway, thank goodness they did, as I learned a lot. But yeah, Steve used to play this song a lot. He recorded it on the album For Joe from 2000, maybe 2001. And there's also a really nice version I recently got hip to from Steve Cardenas on the album Melody in a Dream. Trio, Shane Ensley's on some of the tracks, but this tune they do as kind of a trio, sort of a bossa nova with Joey Barron and Thomas Morgan. Really nice song, It's funny, I used to find it really tricky, really complicated when I was first learning it, because it does some really cool modulations and goes to some key areas that at the time I wasn't that familiar with. So I'll go through the chords, maybe a little bit of the melody too. So you have this A minor 7 flat 5 to D7 flat 9. On the Horace Silver record they play like an A flat 7 there. So kind of tritone sub. It's funny, on Steve's recording he goes, plays like a D7 13 flat 9, which I didn't hear on any other versions, because most people go, if they're going to play any kind of 13 on that D7 or A flat 7, it's going to be B flat, but he plays B natural, and then G minor 7, C7. Although in the original they go, the C7 is very much like a C7 flat 9, because there's a horn, maybe the trumpet. It goes from like F, the flat 7 of G minor, down to the flat 9 of C7. So, and then here's the kind of first cool little, it's all cool, but interesting sort of chord. So after the G minor C7 he goes B major 7, kind of cool, and then C minor 7 flat 5, F7 flat 9, sharp 9 to B flat major. So it's kind of cool. Sort of like 2-5 to G minor and then 2-5 to B flat, but with this B major kind of interposed in the middle there, which isn't that strange, it's, what is it, a Neapolitan? 2-5 to B flat major, but the major 7 up a half step in the middle there. Alright, B flat, where's he going to go now? This is really cool. He goes to A major. It's just a 2-5. And on the original, so you have B minor 7, E7, A major, and a little walk down to F sharp minor. Some people just do like A, G sharp, F sharp, but Horace Silver, the original, they go a little chromatic thing, and then again to E flat. Should I call it E flat minor 7 flat 5 or D sharp minor 7 flat 5? I'm gonna go with E flat just because it's hard to say D sharp. I don't know. So A major. So. Minor 7 flat 5 or just minor 9. It could kind of be either one. Then A flat 13, A flat flat 13, D flat major. So we covered a lot of key areas like a 2-5 to G minor, that sneaky little B major 7, 2-5 to B flat, and then 2-5 to A, and then a 2-5 to D flat. And then the last bit you have kind of C sharp 7, sharp 9, flat 5, to B7, to B flat. So you end up in B flat. Maybe the tune's in the key of B flat. I don't know the songs that modulate this much. I guess you could make that argument since the first thing's a 2-5 in G minor, then it goes to ends in B flat. But so let's just go through those chords again. So A minor 7 flat 5, D7, G minor, C7, B major 7, C minor 7 flat 5, F7, B flat major. Then B minor 7, E7, A major, F sharp minor, E flat minor 7, or maybe flat 5, I don't know, something. A flat 7, D flat major 7, and then C7 altered, B7, B flat. And there, some people will go do the C7 altered and then go to F7 or like a 2-5 to B flat there. Horace Silver does some cool little like moving lines with the horns. So after this, the E flat minor 7, A flat 7, D flat, he'll go like on the A flat 7 you have like 13 to flat 13 to 9 for the D flat major, and then on the C7 alter he does almost like a Tom Jobim thing. I guess it's pre-Tom Jobim, right? 1959. I'm sure this little line existed. I don't know who came up with it, but maybe he invented it. I don't know. So C7 sharp 9 to natural 9, then B7 sharp 9 to natural 9 to the 9 of B flat major 7 against the melody, a little counter line. So really cool. Sometimes when I'm soloing over the song, instead of playing C7 sharp 9 to B7, I kind of make it a C minor 7 flat 5 to F7 to B flat, just because it's kind of so similar. And I guess in terms of in a 2-5-1 context, I prefer to play over that sound than to try to make that work. Well, there's a really cool thing that when Horace Silver plays his piano solo over it, I guess he takes a couple choruses, maybe 2 or 3. He does this thing. He does this cool little line at the end. I think at the very end of his solo, it's on that C7, B7, B flat. He goes from like a natural 13 to the sharp 5 down to the natural 9 on the C7, and then the same thing down a half step on the B7. And then this moving line against the B flat. It's really cool. It's like you hear Horace Silver, he's so compositional in the sense that like that last bit of his solo on this song could easily have been another tune. It's so catchy and so like just melodic and kind of fun just over those chords, And I guess I think of this song as being so serious, because it's about peace. And it's just so playful what he plays at the end of the solo, and really throughout his solo, but particularly that ending. It's like really, it reminds me, I don't know, I guess it reminds me of Thelonious Monk, just in the sense that his solos are so, they sound like little tunes, even on the tune that he's already written. And you can see how he's such a prolific composer, because everything just sounds like a tune, sounds like a song. And so in terms of harmony on this thing, I guess what I was thinking is maybe to talk about it in terms of, since I got this new book that talks a lot about position playing and improvising over the tune in positions, maybe to take a position or two. You know, in the book I talk about how I came up learning the cage system, and so I kind of always divide the neck into 5 areas. So say if I were playing this song right here in this little chunk, so A minor 7 flat 5, you know, a 2-5 in G minor. Again, I'm always looking at shapes, so I guess I'm seeing this kind of C minor sound, or maybe this E flat major 7, because A minor 7 flat 5. From the 3rd is C minor, and from the 5th is E flat major. And in this part of the neck, that's like the grip that I'm going to go to. I talk in the book about, I don't do this tune in the book, although I could have. It's a good song length. What is it? It's an odd number of bars. I can't remember right now. But so that's the shape I would go for. To D7. I wrote that line in the other book, in Personalizing Jazz Vocabulary. That's a good 2-5. I wanted to do the Masakowski thing that he does on the D7. He plays like a B triad. So D7, 13 flat 9, I could do that too. There's G minor, C7. Oops, jumped positions, but yeah. There's B major 7. And C minor, F7. F7 in this, if I'm in this chunk of the neck, I guess I would think of F7 as kind of like C minor as well, in the sense that C minor 7 or C minor 7 flat 5, E flat minor or G flat major. Here's F7. Here's B flat major. And I'm mostly thinking about arpeggios. I guess I could think about scales. You know, I can play all those melodic minor or major scale modes pretty much. But at this point, you know, I'm thinking about arpeggios when I improvise, and I'm thinking about specific shapes. I'm thinking about the melodies I want to play. I'm also on a ballad like this, I'm thinking about, I was telling a student the other day, to get kind of the right feel, I'm thinking about a mixture of like triplet or triplets and more duple rhythms. It's like I think Barry Harris said in some video, you know, there's all those bootleg videos about how ballads kind of need to feel like they're in 6 and 4 at the same time, so you kind of have. So kind of mixing a couple ideas here, and I switched positions, but that's the stuff that I'm thinking about. The arpeggio, where are the notes in the chord that I want so I can, you know, compose a little melody the way Horace Silver does. Am I getting the right feel? Like, I think everything I played there, you know, I can't like call it out rhythmically the way I can sometimes call out the notes and the things that I'm playing, but the idea, it's a mixture of like da ba 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 ba, I guess 8th note triplets, some quarter note triplets, some 16ths, and some 8ths. And I try to make them all very accurate rhythmically, but by mixing them up, it can kind of sound like I'm speeding up and slowing down a little bit. And maybe I am slightly, you know, pulling at the time, but the Masakowski solo is a really good example of that on For Joe. He just has a really nice, it just sits in the pocket really nicely, everything he plays with Bill Huntington and Johnny Vodakovich. And it's hard to do. You know, it sounds, sometimes you listen back to a solo like that Steve solo, and it sounds kind of simple, like he's not shredding a bunch of stuff or anything like that, but every note is just right where it needs to be. So anyway, sorry to be jumping around, but it's all important stuff. So here, G minor, C7, B major, B flat major, 2-5, and then B minor. Look, here's your B minor arpeggio, or I play that one a lot in that position. D minor 7. Here's E7, A major, F sharp minor. Ooh, E flat minor. Or is it E flat minor 7 flat 5? So that's one where I might jump up a little bit. You know, this idea of everything being in positions. When a tune modulates so much, like this song, you kind of have to. Sometimes you got to make a judgment call about whether you're gonna jump up a little bit, or it's not an exact science, I guess. So for E flat minor 7 flat 5, A flat 7, D flat, I might go back here, which is kind of where I was before. I don't know. Somehow I got down here, but it's all. So I could play the B minor, E7, A major right here. So B minor 7, it's like a D major 7 arpeggio. E7, A major. And you can kind of stay on F sharp minor, really from A major to F sharp minor to E flat minor 7 flat 5. It's all kind of in upper structure, it's all kind of the same thing, like an A major 7 arpeggio, right? F sharp minor, E flat minor 7 flat 5 to A flat 7, D flat major, C7, sharp 9. So there I'm kind of going to go back to, I might just play off some chord tones. If I want to play the C7 sharp 9, I guess. I don't know, since it's a 2 chord, making it fully altered, like super Locrian, is kind of weird to me. Horace Silver, you know, he does that one line at the end of his solo, but at another point I think he kind of plays whole tone over it, some whole tone ideas over the C7 altered, but I might just make it a C minor 7 flat 5. F7 to B flat. I do that same thing on the tune Wave, Tom Jobim. You have this part in the song where it goes, what is it, you know? I have to go through G major, G minor, right here where it's like kind of F sharp 7, B7 to E sus. Sometimes I'll make, when I'm soloing on the tune, I'll make that F sharp 7 be an F sharp minor 7 flat 5 to B7. And I feel like in the heat of battle, it doesn't matter that much to me. And it sounds better. I'm able to kind of improvise. And the notes, you know, it's very, very similar. Just really like the difference of a major third and a minor third. But anyway, that was a lot of different ideas. But I can do that, and I tell my students, you know, looking at that song in this area of the guitar, I can do it here, I can do it here, I can do it on the whole neck. I can play on all those chords. I know how to play the actual chord itself in all these different areas. I can arpeggiate. I can play little fragments of jazz vocabulary like I talk about in this book. And I think that's important to be able to do on the song, so you don't find yourself in an area of the neck that's unfamiliar and the chord happens and oh, you're in trouble. So I'm going to play on the tune, and as a tribute to the Cardenas version, I put a little sort of groove on it. I don't know if it's a bossa nova. It's something that I dialed up on the app on my phone, but rather than do it as a ballad, give it a little groove. So I hope you enjoy it. Peace.